Hello everyone, Zane here, and I decided to do a little bit of commentary over my first kill of Titania Extreme. Now it took me about a day or so of practice to get this fight down. Well, to be quite honest, I didn't really get much practice of the second phase. I actually just winged it. But this group right here is our third attempt at doing this. We wiped the first time due to the puddles. The whole ground got burned, so we ended up dying. Second attempt, we enraged. And the third attempt, which is right here, we ended up killing him. So my second attempt was the only progress that I got on the last phase of this fight. Even though it's just basically a recycled rotation of her abilities, still you had to adjust to her Phantom Ruins, and also the bramble patches and all that. I tried doing this on my samurai, but unfortunately I just don't like samurai anymore. They really made it a little bit not to my liking. Not until they ruined it. To me they ruined it for me, but I just couldn't do it anymore. So I went back to my first love, which is Dragoon. I did pretty good. This is also the very first time that I actually used potions in the fight. I mean, I've had so many tinctures from doing my videos that I had some left over. Now, the one thing that I kind of liked about Dragoon, they're very lenient when it comes to their positionings with Fang and Claw and Willing Thrust. Half the time, I wasn't even hitting my positionals, and yet I still ended up getting Raid and Thrust. So when they say that Titania is hard to pug, they weren't kidding. It was a pain in the butt. I mean, freaking pugs I went through to actually get a group. This was actually a clear for one group. Now, of course, I didn't clear it yet, and pretty much I was guessing that not too many other people did either. So someone was lying in this group, of course. Because at the end, there was actually 3 people that didn't have it cleared yet. So I was like, well, no shock there. Well, there goes the Bard. He didn't run out in time. But something in me said this group is probably the one you're looking for. So I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's go in and do it. I'm just very lucky that they stuck with it, because, you know, people that usually wipe once or twice, they just give up. So I'm happy this group stuck with it. Now the Dragoon, try to keep a gap closer, any jump, Spine Shatter, Star Ender, and Dragonfire, because you probably can get away with going through them, even though they're not already connected. And even if you do get stunned or binded, it won't last very long. So by the time the Primal Patches, you know, dissipate, you're already released from the bind, and there goes the warrior. Here we decided to, well, some of us decided to eat it, like I did, just to get up the DPS. I mean, I highly recommend eating it. The damage is not that you know, significant, even with the frost and then the pillars. So in my experience, the added phase was the hardest part for everyone in the pug groups I was in to learn. I end up almost dying in the add phase, which we'll get to in a little bit. I accidentally used Life Surge on Fang and Claw. My death is almost, no, not my actual death, but my close to coming death is going to be coming up soon. I don't know how I managed to stay on the platform, but I did. I just really love what they did with Dragoon this expansion. It's exactly what I wanted. And of course, I don't understand why the Samurai LB'd the ad. I honestly thought that we actually could do it because we were at 85% energy power by the time we were done, so we could have saved it. But here's the part where I almost screwed up, because usually it always does the other way around. And that's how close I came to falling off. But the one of the bar died. But yeah, the vines would always go south. So when it went north, I was like, oh crap. So I almost died. Then we almost died again to the stack marker. The bard was still alive. We could have probably got less damage, but we almost got wiped on that. Yeah, it's about 85%. Of course, if that bar didn't die, it'd probably be less. Now, at this point, I'm completely blind. I mean, I've watched a couple of videos on the second part of her, but, you know, watching a video and doing it are two different things. But I completely and winged everything in this one. I always fell for this one. She always does the inner phantom ruin. But not this time. The bramble patches will go east to west on ours. Yep, so clockwise. So we got a couple of deaths in this last phase. I'm just really surprised our DPS was high enough to where we actually died and still managed to beat the enrage. I really thought that the positionals for Dragoon for Raging Thrust would be a problem, but it's really easy to get to. Especially when you have true north. I try to use my tinctures, but using the right ability to get to be used was a little bit difficult. It's the first time using them, so I really didn't know how to incorporate them. Again, I ate the frozen to make sure to get the DPS. Those two to the north almost wiped each other because they just separated at the last second. This is where everything went to hell. So a few people got lightning by mistake. So there goes the samurai. This is where the tank picked it up. That's the Dark Knight. Living Dead. The Bard accidentally got the crossfire. Living Dead wasn't cured, so the Dark Knight went. She's at about 12%, I believe. Yeah, at this point she's at 12%. The good thing about the Bramble Tethers is that even if you're missing a couple people, it still works out in the end. Here I almost got boned up. Fortunately, I didn't have any abilities to cross the vines, so I had to wait. So the Dark Knight got revived, and now we're down to a Bard and a Samurai. Turn Rage is almost coming up. Have to shoot those both Phantom Ruins. Alright, at this point, Samurai got raised. I LB. One Blighted Stab. Next one's coming up is Enrage. Nope. One more, then it's the Enrage. So at this point, my heart is literally pounding out of my chest. Because I knew I knew the Enrage was coming. And there it is. She's at less than 1%, so. And there you go. My first kill.
We can play no more.
I was just so happy to get this done because I literally was like very depressed the day before my kill. Because I was just like really hard on myself because it was like I feel like I failed, but even though it wasn't me, it was my team that failed. I just went into really, really bad depression that very night. So this was definitely a gigantic mood change just by clearing it finally. I just didn't have it in me to do this all over again. So happy that we won. Now, of course, I didn't get anything from the treasure. There was the bow that dropped. I tried greeting on it, but we had two bards that wanted it more, so I'm like, whatever. I wanted the kill was the most important thing. So guys, that is pretty much it. My Titania first extreme clear. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.